and currently I'm living in Scotland with my family. And during the lockdown, I decided to add more knowledge because most of the companies were closed, you know, and we're indoor, really, really indoors. Unlike, you know, it was a tough time. So I decided to apply, to add more knowledge, and I applied to study social work with the Masters in Social Work with the University of Stirling. Just to add more knowledge, already I've got Masters already from Jönköping University, Sweden, Engineering Management, which I gained in 2018. So, and I was working before the lockdown. So I decided to, but since everywhere was not moving, so I decided to add more knowledge, given that there was opportunity to study from home, you know, at least for 1 year during that lockdown, instead of staying at home doing nothing. So that was how I was enticed to applying to study at the University of Stirling, specifically Masters in Social Work. But my experience is horrible.
Okay. Now, before we go any further, I would love to also hear the side of the University of Stirling. We're a very balanced media here.
Yes.
And they always say it takes two to tango. So, by the way, his views are not the views of Daddy Freeze or any of the Daddy Freeze platforms on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. These are his views and his opinions about what happened. And of course, I'll always be open to honoring an invite from the University of Stirling so they can share their side of the story. So continue your story, sir.
Yeah. So what actually happened, to start with, because the topic of this discussion is discrimination. To start with, when I applied, having stayed in Europe for many years, and as a European citizen, I haven't stayed in Scotland for over 3 years, automatically the law considers me a home student. However, first of all, when I applied to study in that university, then I didn't know how they work, how they are. So I was rejected. I was denied as a home student, even when they saw my European passport, even when I evidenced my residency, proof of residency, such as council tax, TV, license, and all that. Even when I've evidenced that for 3 good years, they continued to decorate me as international student, simply because my name did not sound like maybe Scott Peter or James Bush or something that they have been hearing before. And I continue to struggle for them to recognize me as a home student, because I'm not an international student. I've paid my tax for years. I've acquired nationality. It took me a long time. I didn't marry a white woman. I got my passport through payment of tax and through hard work. So why would you deny me my nationality simply because my color is black or something, or because my name is not Scott? We'll continue to argue this.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but how are you sure that these are the reasons why they denied you?
Because I didn't have any reason. I wrote them severally to tell me reason, but they refused. The director of the social work study, I wrote her many emails. She told me that it was not her place to ascertain who is an international student or not, or who is a home student. However, she didn't do anything about it. I wrote her more than 5 emails for over 6 weeks period. She refused to answer my emails on that particular concern until I wrote to Student Hub and told them, look, this can be seen as discrimination, because why you should be able to tell me why why you decorated me as international student, even when my passport is before you. So you don't want to recognize this passport simply because perhaps the color of the person is black. Why? Is this passport fake? They say, no, it's not fake. Then why is the problem? Why don't you want to recognize me as a European, as international, as a home student? So when I reported the director of social work, the director of the school, you know, then the student support, then they wrote her immediately. When she realized that the thing is about to escalate, immediately they wrote me an email and recognized me. Immediately she wrote me an email and recognized me as a home student. Then I said, okay, let that be bygone. I continue with the university. So I studied barely almost 1 year from home, and eventually I went for my first placement, which was, you know, okay. Then the second placement was where I experienced wonder. My experience in the second placement, I had controversial results, 2 results. And, you know, I did my placement for those who are conversant with social work, with young people's team, young people, you know, ranging from between the age of 15 to 18. You know, I work with them. Of course, some of us know what social work does. So I supported them, you know, to assess risks, supported them to get their needs right, you know, supported them to get their potential, to attain their full potentials, and so on and so forth. So after the placement, during the placement, they sent me, the school sent me, the director of practice sent me to a local authority for the placement. So during the placement, I was not, first of all, I was starved of resources. The law requires every student to be given access to login details, to access records and do their job as soon as possible. And this placement was scheduled for 95 days compulsory placement. So during the placement, I noticed that my practice educator didn't want to give me the login details. It took out of 95 days meant for the placement, I got my login details after 60 days. What I'm saying it with facts, and I'm saying it to the hearing of the whole world, including the University of Sterling. I'm not hiding it. I'm not hiding. I have all the facts. I have all the evidence with me. And I'm the only student that did not have his password within 3 days of placement throughout the whole university as a black man. Under that condition, he continued to tell me, meet your link worker to access record, meet this to access record. And of course, you know, social work is, most of the work are done outside. You come to the office to do reports, you know, organize yourself, hold meetings, but most of your work is done in the field where you meet the service users and other professionals. So I continue to struggle with this situation whereby my link worker was not around, which always the case. Then I had to stay like that, doing other things. And of course, we work under a very strict confidentiality rules. You are not allowed to take in information down home. You are not allowed. In fact, every day when you finish, at the end of your assignment, at the end of your daily assignment, you must, you know, destroy any document containing sensitive information about people you are working with. You must destroy it and throw it into the confidential bin. So we don't take things. Of course, you know, in such situation, I was cramming huge information in my brain, give me a lot of stress. It was a stressful situation. That one apart. The second bad experience I had was that there was one African student, you know, that was doing her placement from Ghana in the same in the same hall, but from another team. She's my classmate. So So we decided to have a break, have a break and discuss about our school models during break time. Every worker in that department is entitled to 1 hour break. But I was not allowed to.
Every worker has a 1 hour break.
Entitled to 1 hour break. Entitled to 1 hour break. But I was not given that chance. So each time I'm spending up to 30 minutes break, my link worker will start to, begin to worry, begin to behave, strange. One day, I was having my break with this Ghana girl. Immediately, my link worker see me because she have not been seeing me with any black before. Although she do see me with white people because we are the only black people in that hall. So each time other whites come to me, they chat with me. Even when I'm working, she'll be very happy. But the moment she saw me with this black, she came to me and told me to follow her. A young person, was at risk of harm. Social work is just like military work. I decided to follow her immediately to know what was the problem. I didn't know that she just wanted to disorganize the meeting. And she told me to my face. She told me to my face that if I near that person again, she's going to make sure that I fail my placement.
Now, who did this? Let's slow down a little. Once again, we are not seeing your face. Sir, can you sit down the way I'm sitting down? Can you sit down the way I'm sitting down so we can see you clearly? Is there something that you should hold the phone? Because once we start talking like this, you are only showing us your face upwards. So they will not take us seriously.
Okay.
Can you keep the camera like this?
Yes.
Good. So thank you guys watching on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. If you're watching on TikTok, I'm looking for my #1 gifter. Remember, keep that in mind. #1, #2, and #3 gifter. Big shout out to you. So over to you, sir. Once again, why the last part where you said you were doing your social work and somebody came to stop you? Tell us that story again and explain what exactly happened.
Yes. She denied me having break and she destroyed our meeting, and she threatened me with failure. Because she saw me.
Person? Who was this person?
The link worker. The link worker, who that was given to me by the university. Social work, masters in social work is a professional qualification. It's not academic qualification. So you do half of the studies on placement, then half at the uni. But the uni is responsible, for the organization of this placement, So irrespective of where the placement is done, you are still under the authority of the uni. You understand what I mean? So this link worker and the PE were given to me by the university, and they are doing this to me. So I reported this matter to the director of practice, and I requested for a meeting. Apart from that, even before then, she threatened me with failure. I still bear it.
Now let me ask you a question. Sorry to interrupt you, but were you at any time rude to these people? Were you confrontational with these people?
No.
Another question is, do you have a union? Do you have a union that you reported the matter to?
Yes, I'm coming now. I'm coming. So at that point, in law, there is what they call causation. That is the consequences of action. So at that point, I didn't take it serious because there was no causation, So I relaxed. However, I was very vigilant. I was vigilant because, this is at least I've spent more than 10 good years managing discrimination. So I know how to manage discrimination properly. So I was waiting to see the failure. However, Then during my let me just fast forward it. When I finished my placement, at the end of the placement, the last week of the placement, I realized that they started, planning to fail me. The first strategy they did was to fix me on my study days, to do a duty role of 8 hours on my study days, which was inconsistent with the practice agreement, because the practice agreement states that on Tuesdays are my studies days. So they plan to fix me on duty on study days, so that if I didn't come, they will not use it against me. They did that. The second strategy they did, when I was sick, being the following day, I told my link worker that I was sick, I was not going to come to work tomorrow. She said no problem, because I was supporting her to present maintenance payment to a young person. I didn't come that day because I went to my GP to take care of my health. They raised concern. I didn't come to work on 22nd of November. I did not present maintenance payment to a young person even when I was holidays. They started threatening me to fail me with it. I raised alarm. I told them that cannot happen. That is breach of practice agreement. In line with the practice agreement, you cannot put me on 8-hour duty role on Tuesday, because we have already agreed that on Tuesdays are my study days, and we are under obligation to act in line with the terms of the practice agreement. Secondly, when I was on holiday, you have no right to compel me to come to work. So I now wrote an email to the university, because these people are planning to fail me, and I recalled what the threat, that the link worker gave me last time. So what I did, I reported the matter to the school, social work. Look at my experience, look at the harassment, look at the intimidation, look at the manipulation. To my surprise, the director of practice don't want to hold a meeting. I asked her to call the team manager, the person that fits me on that duty, the link worker, the practice educator, to a meeting, so that we settle this matter, we look into this matter before my practice educator writes a report. This was happening in December. End of November / December. I continued writing them to hold a meeting. Let's have a meeting and discuss this matter before the PE writes a report, because I knew what they were trying to do. The director of practice said there was no need. She didn't understand why they should hold a meeting. I said, such very serious issue. You don't understand why we should have a meeting, even despite these serious issues on ground. You didn't understand why we should have a meeting? Hey, I was shocked. I started begging her. I wrote her email. I have all my email communication between me and her. I started begging her, let's have this meeting, please, ma. Let's have this meeting. It's very important. Before she reluctantly invited only me to the meeting. She didn't invite the practice educator. She didn't invite the link worker. She refused to invite the team manager. She invited only the practice educator. She didn't invite the link worker who executed the threat. She didn't invite the team manager who executed the D2 role assignment. The two people, the two major people, she refused to invite them. Rather, she was communicating them side by side, planning with them side by side, working in collusion side by side against me, forcing me to accept whatever they say. Anything they say, I should accept it as a feedback. She didn't want to look into it. She was not interested. She said, every feedback is normal at the end of placement. See it as a feedback. I told the lady, man, feedback. When you have agreement with someone, you're under obligation to respect that agreement. Breaching practice agreement, I can never accept it as a feedback, because the breach of practice agreement was done by the young people's team where you send me to, and I can't accept it as a feedback. I can't accept that as a reflection. I can't. So we continue to, at the end of the day, we had a meeting. This meeting was done online on the 12th of December. So I didn't know. Then after that, after this meeting, on the January 29th, I submitted my final coursework. Remember, I submitted my final coursework January 29, 2023. With a recommendation, a past recommendation, because I threatened them that if they fail me because of that, I'm going to take, they saw that I could defend myself properly, then they had a plan B. So what they did now, my president got a recommended pass and sent it to the school. Then the same director of practice wrote back and bounced it back and said that the practice educator should send more evidence. She didn't want to, she refused to confirm my pass. I started struggling. She refused to confirm my pass. So I have the result here. I'm not talking story. I have it here. I have it here. So what is the problem again? She said she will write an essay. I said, which essay again? There is no student. This is what you are telling me to do. There is no other student that was asked to do this. No other student was asked to do this. So I didn't know that they have already concluded that they must fail me, even on the 1st of December, almost 60 days before I submitted my final report. I have evidence to that. The director of practice wrote email to the practice educator to fail me. On the 1st of December.
That's a very serious allegation. Do you have anything to back up that statement?
I have the email here. And how do I know? You know, in Europe, there is
somebody's personal email, sir.
Yes, good. Very good. In Europe, there is what they call access subject request. And it's under the law, which allows anybody to access your record in any institution. For instance, as I am now, I can write to the police to supply me all information about me in their possession from 2021 to 2022. And the police are under obligation to do that within a specific number of days. I think it's 60 days or thereabout by law. So when this issue started happening, when my practice educator formulated information and forwarded to them, I now demanded, I did subject access request. 3 of them, both sides. And from there, behold, I now saw their secret emails. The director of practice on the 1st of December wrote an email to the practice educator, you know, directing him to fail me. I have the email here. Then
can we please, is it possible that we see that email? Or is it a confidential document?
It's a confidential document, but I'm talking this thing to the whole world now. What I'm trying to let you know now that even on the 23rd of this month, we are having a meeting. They refuse to call for hearing. They call it a meeting. That is even the cocoa now. But let me just finish that part. So what I did, when I got this information, I also got information how they were planning to make me unfit to practice, but they were struggling to get evidence to that. So the director of practice also sent the same email to my tutor to send to my practice educator so that my practice educator will know that I have a lot of enemies. So my tutor sent the same email to my practice educator 2 minutes after the director of practice have sent her own. The same email, verbatim, you know, not copying, not writing A and copying B. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 2 different officers writing the same email verbatim to one person independently. That is not possible. Verbatim, I have it here. Then, when this thing happened, then he wrote that he's withdrawing his pass. He wrote that he's withdrawing his pass, but the reason unclear. So, and that's okay, you have contradicted yourself, then you need to produce the young people which because he manipulated information, he tampered with the evidence. All the consulting, all the exceptional feedback he gathered, he stated them. But he, however, went again and changed it to constructive feedback. I have all the exceptional feedback he gathered from the same people he said I work with, even to the last date of my involvement with them. But miraculously and dramatically, after 90 days, after 60 days, he came up again that he gathered the constructive feedback from the same people, which is contradictory. Then I now told the school I need the school to hold to schedule a hearing where these service users will appear for cross-examination, because it is my right. These people didn't give any constructive feedback. They gave only exceptional feedback, and I have the evidence here, signed by my practice educator. And I have evidence that all this period they are talking about constructive feedback, I don't have any engagement or involvement with these people. I don't have any engagement with them. You see what I say? Are you hearing me? Right. I didn't have any engagement, and this is evident through my travel expense claim form. I have a travel expense claim form which contains all my movement, which was also signed, duly signed and certified by my practice educator, stating when I started my practice and when I ended my practice. And from that date till the time he gathered the constructive feedback, I didn't have any involvement with these service users, with these young people. You see to that? So that's another. So now I'm on the university neck. They have already scheduled, if you Google University of Sterling appeal process, because I'm following a process. If you Google University of Sterling appeal process, you will see that there is opportunity for hearing. And by law, hearing means gathering 2 or more people together, hearing from both sides, cross-examine them, and deduct, your idea or your decision from the cross-examination. But they don't want to do that. What they want to do, they want to invite only me to the meeting. They don't want to call it hearing anymore. They call it meeting. I told them, you are university policy. They call it hearing, but you are changing it to meeting. How would you substantiate the evidence produced as constructive feedback? How would you substantiate that? Okay, how would you allow me to cross-examine the source of the evidence, which is my legal right? Are you going to deny me that? As I'm talking to you, the University of Sterling, I'm shouting their name here. They refuse to invite the source of the evidence to come and substantiate the evidence they used to withdraw the pass. Till now, I'm saying it to the whole world. The whole world. I'm in Scotland saying it. I'm not in America. I'm not hiding. I'm saying it. I have all the evidence here. So now what I'm saying now, even Daddy Freeze, I've told them that I need somebody to be present. I need 2 people to be present. I've got my lawyer, and I need somebody like you to be present on that 23 if you are going to be available to witness this discussion. Yeah, I'm talking on Instagram. Sorry. To witness this discussion, lock it up. To witness this discussion with them, because I wonder how they are going to conduct a meeting in preference to hearing. At the same time, they are not able. They are not willing, or I wonder how they intend to substantiate evidence in the absence of the source of the evidence. I wonder the miracle they want to perform to achieve that, because even the court, no court in the world has been able to succeed in doing that. In the court, yes, in court hearing, both parties must be present. The judge must be neutral, not inviting one party, then using email and holding secret meetings with the other party. It's not done in the whole world. The judge will listen to both parties in the open and give them opportunity to cross-examine themselves, ask them questions, and make judgment. That's how hearing is done in any sane society. Hearing is not done. You call the students to a meeting, Then when you finish, or even before the meeting, you hold the meeting with the other, the suspects. I call them suspects. You hold meeting with them secretly. Then you come and hold meeting with the students secretly. Then later you write an email. You send an email to the student. This is my decision. No cross-examination, no substantiation. No opportunity to substantiate the evidence. The people that produce the evidence are at large. They are leaving, but you refuse to invite them to a meeting. So that is the situation now. That is the current situation now. They are not interested in providing the source of the evidence, even when they are not far from us. They are not interested to invite, even virtually, for to hear from them if actually the information is from them or not, because they knew the information was falsified and manipulated by the practice educator and his co-brigands. It is a very serious matter. I have all the evidence. I don't normally come online. Nobody know my face. Even when I was in Nigeria, I was a little bit popular. I'm the founder, first chairman, Student Security Council, ESUT. I'm the founder of Anti-Cog, ESUT, in 2001. Many people know me in Nigeria, you know. But yes, I'm Theophilus Marshall, first Anti-Cog chairman, ESUT. Now that's the president, 2003, first Anti-Cog chairman, founder, first Anti-Cog chairman, 2001, when ESUT was the second in terms of cultism and violence, second to the whole world in Guinness Book of Record, after the first in India. Then ESUT was second in terms of cultism and violence in the whole world, after the first in India. That was when I emerged as the founder, pioneer chairman, Anti-Cog ESUT. So many people know me in Nigeria, but I don't come online. I'm not a social person.
So sorry, I'm going to bring someone on. We're going to ask you 2 or 3 questions, and then we close. Yeah. And then we're looking forward to the update on the 23rd.
Yeah.
The first thing I want to ask is, you have all these as evidence, all your claims. You have all the evidence.
I have evidence here. I have them here. I'm not going anywhere to get them. I've already front-loaded them to the appeal team, you know, waiting for them to give me opportunity to invite more than one person, because that is what their policy says. You know, let me tell you now, this is not even the first time of having controversial results. Even my first result is known as the module human development. I have controversial results. I have 2 results in one course. I had pass and fail. This was not the first time. I had passed and failed. And when I saw that result on my portal, I contacted my tutor. I reported it to my tutor. My tutor was at the first instance, she was not willing to discuss the matter with me, because the university had this kind of policy that doesn't allow allow another lecturer, another teacher to judge academic assessment of another student. So they were hesitant over my report. However, I continued to push. I told them 2 marks, significance of 15 points. Daddy Freeze, your mother is a vice chancellor of a university. For God's sake, have you ever heard from your mother, or even when you attended university, that a student submitted a module A, 2 marks for that module with a difference of 15 marks? So to me, and one happens to be passed and one happens to be failed. So I see it as dualization of I don't know, of standardization, you know. So I don't know what's going on. And I know the stress I passed through before they threw the fail result away and upholded the pass. It took me weeks of stress, writing, arguing, debating with them before they upheld the pass recommendation.
All right.
The pass result.
All right. Thank you so much. I have somebody here who has a few questions to ask. But before we do that, a big shout out to everybody watching on TikTok. Thank you for double clicking the screen. Lauren Chris. Lauren Chris is my #1 gifter. Guys, follow her, and also follow my #2 gifter, Kiki Mask, the Kiki Mask artist. Please follow the two of them. They are absolutely awesome. If you're watching on other platforms, the young man is complaining about a situation where he was discriminated against by the University of Stirling. And we're also waiting to hear from the University of Stirling so we can have a balanced story. Thank you all so much. Now, over to my sister here who wants to ask a few questions. So please go ahead.
So first is apologies that all that happened to you. I understand your aggression. However, when you're having your hearing or you're trying to explain, regardless of whatever happened, and as long as you want justice and you want everything to be sorted out, you have to maintain that, that comportment. You don't have to shout. It doesn't so that it won't look like you're violent, and that they can hear. You can properly articulate whatever message you're trying to pass.
Oh, wow. She was frozen. She was frozen. Yeah. I also tried to send Simply Vic a request. Go ahead.
Now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So please, so you'll be sure that you are properly articulating your ideas and whatever evidence you're trying to, put down, so they can listen and they don't perceive you as you're violent. So that's the first question is, throughout your work, I know you told me you did some in the school and then you did some professionally. For example, you had to go outside to do a few other work and all of that. Have you ever been part of anything that regards to maybe plagiarism, or maybe you're not doing your assignment well? Maybe there are undertones of things that you don't know, but they should have officially told you. But have you been, subject to any of that?
No. This is not my first master's. I had my first degree in 2003 as a mechanical engineer, and I have my master's at University University. If you Google my name, you see my thesis. One of the best was published by Divas, in engineering management, and even now I'm in my final year law. I'm in my final year law as well in UK here. So I'm not new to studying. So there was the university there is no report or concern about plagiarism. The issue now is.
No, I'm just saying something maybe related to that, because the thing is that obviously whatever they've done, racism on its own is something that could be sued. Threats on its own is a form, you can sue them for all of that as well. So I'm just saying, because we are here on your side, and I want to be sure that there hasn't been any issue, because sometimes there could be an oversight of something that you probably, and then, because I also did a master's with the United Nations University. What I said was, whatever report you have against me, which I know there's undertone of a lot of things, can I have the report? Till today, they've not been able to produce the report. And I paid millions of naira for school fees for a course that I just did it because I love humanity. So that's why I asked. Number two, whatever reason, even if you're not being nice to them, whatever reason, nobody should tell you that, should threaten you that you fail somebody. Yeah. It's very, very, unethical in any professional
without reason, or maybe without reason.
Oh. Exactly. But has there been any issues with you and anybody in terms of maybe all of that? Because sometimes, why I'm saying that is because there are some industries that you can't behave in a certain way because of the ethics and the norms. So they will look for something not to ensure you're certified, because they feel like you should not get this profession.
My sister, I'm sure this is the first time of hearing my name or even seeing my face. You understand? I've been in this Europe for close to 18 years. I've lived in 4 different countries. I have indefinite stay in the UK. I have Italian passport. I have all my children. I have 4 boys in this UK, in this Europe. So I'm not somebody, and even at that, I work in big organizations. I've had teams. I've had 22,000 people. I'm not somebody who is starting life. I'm in my 40s. I'm not a baby. So, in terms of ethics, norms, behavior at workplace, relationship, collaboration, all those things, they are part of me.
All right.
Not being able to articulate your thing without.
Okay. Hold on, sir. Here's one thing I've noticed. Hold on. There's one thing I've noticed. Sorry, hear me out. We Nigerians like to shout because we live in an environment that is dominated by noise pollution. Abroad, they don't shout. Just watch Nigerian movies. Watch the dialogue in a foreign movie, and even when they are fighting, you'll be hearing the dialogue. They do not shout. Nigerian movies, they'll be talking, they'll be shouting, "Mama, how are you?" So your voice also, my just observation is your tone needs to calm down. I know you are angry, but bring your tone down. That's one. We've got somebody here. Thank you so much, my sister, for coming in. My lovely sister, leading lingual. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good afternoon, Daddy. Sorry, is it after? Yeah, good afternoon.
Now, before you talk, please, if there's anybody who has had any experience with the University of Sterling, can you please share your experience or tell me so I'll invite you live? Let's hear from you.
All right. Good afternoon, Daddy Fritz. Just give me 1 minute, please. Sorry, I've got the postman at my door. Just a minute.
Okay.
So just a minute, I'm just wanting to pick up my post. The joys of working from home, sorry.
Oh, no problem, ma. So what is your take?
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Yeah. So let me first and foremost, Daddy Freeze. I love you a lot. Okay. And I followed you. Well, not followed you, but I knew you far back from the days of Cool FM.
Oh. So, okay.
So one thing I would say, let me before we go far away. Interestingly, I actually did one of my masters at Sterling University. Okay.
Good.
So I know Sterling University very well.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh.
I did a master's in Sterling University, and like I said, I know Sterling University very, very well. Okay. On top of my head, I didn't join on time. Somebody actually called my attention. That was why I joined. And on top of my head, from the way you're speaking, I don't mind. I can exchange my number with you. And I'm happy to see the document that you have. Okay. And I'm happy to take it up with the university. Okay.
Okay.
However, like Daddy Free said, first and foremost, some of the things you're saying, I don't think they're entirely correct, and I'm not being rude. Okay?
Okay, why do you say so, please?
Hold on. We're not fighting. Let me just try and listen to what I've got to say. Yeah. I don't think they're entirely correct in the sense that the way you're presenting your case, it's possible, okay? It's possible. There might be element of truth in it, okay? But then there's also, because we need to be very fair. Sterling University is a very reputable university. I went to Edinburgh University. Okay. Edinburgh University is a Russell Group University. Okay? I went to Edinburgh University and I went to Sterling.
Yes. Yeah, excuse me. Sorry, can I come in? Which department and which year did you finish from Sterling? Which department did you start from Sterling?
Let's have finish. Let's have finish.
Calm yourself down. Calm yourself down.
Right.
The thing is this, right? When there's concerns, when you have concerns about things, okay, you've got to be very calm and articulate in your speech, okay? The moment you start throwing, because I see that a lot with people, okay? I see a lot of people I see a lot of African students, when they have problems with the system, the first thing they scream is racism, okay? Most times, it's not all down to racism. I'm not in any way supporting, I'm not saying that Sterling University do not make mistakes, or all universities do not make mistakes. What I'm saying is how you put things across, okay? We all have, I mean, there's nobody that doesn't have academic qualifications. It's not about the amount of school you've gone to. It's not about, do you know me or do I know you? It's about what
please, could you come straight to the point? You made 2 comments. You said you don't think that my statements are correct, that maybe some of them may be correct, and that is a big blow to me. And I'm very happy that you said you've attended the University of Sterling. So please, could you tell me why you feel that most of the things I said are not correct?
Because you were talking about 2 results. You said you had, so I take it the course you're doing has placement to it, isn't it? So can I ask, is that nursing or social work?
Are you asking me a question to answer my question? You have already come to any conclusion. You said you came in at later time when the discussion was already on. At the same time, you listen to me, because I told you I'm in my final year law. I know how to. Before you make a statement, you made a judgment in your mind, and before you make that judgment, you must have a rationale for that judgment. So that the rationale for your judgment is what I'm asking you now. What is the rationale for deciding that what you feel that most of the things I said was not true, that some of them might be right? What is the rationale for that statement?
Okay, it's the way you present, because you said from when I joined, you were saying something around that you had 2 results. Okay, am I right? You were saying something around.
Madam, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think you need to watch the video from the beginning. I think you need to watch the video from the beginning. You missed at least 80% of the conversation, if that's the only part you heard. So you need to watch it from the beginning, and then if you can look into it, I'll appreciate it. For now, this is how far we can go. I have another live queued up for in about an hour, and this time it's a guy coming to tell us about his marital situation, and it's also another Jackpot story. For those of you who are interested in Jackpot stories, we'll be back in less than an hour to have another conversation. My dear brother Theophilus, we also want to hear from the University of Sterling, and we also want to hear from the sitting that is supposed to happen on the 23rd.
Yeah.
So take care, everyone. God bless you.
The last word, please. The last word, everybody. I thank you, all of you, for bringing your time to come to this discussion. At the same time, I just want to leave the last word. I am depressed. As I'm talking to you, I'm treating depression as a result of this horrible experience. So sometimes when I talk, in fact, I don't drive anymore. That's my vehicle there. I have not driven it for more than 2 weeks because I'm forgetful. Sometimes I forget where I am. So as I'm talking to you now, I'm undergoing undergoing treatment for depression as a result of this. So the way I behave, the school is aware that I've got depression. The way I'm talking matters anyway. I accept the constructive feedback that I need to be a little bit relaxed. However, I'm crazy. I'm crazy. This is my first time of seeing somebody telling me that this tissue paper is black. And majority are following to say this is black, this is black, this is black. This is my first time. And I want to, because that was why I said they should bring the source of the evidence to substantiate the evidence. So thank you so much, all of you. Thank you, Daddy Freeze. You know, we'll get to talk again on the upcoming meeting on the 23rd to see your possibility of joining. That is why I'm inviting people. I'm ready to invite as many as I'm allowed to come to the meeting, to the discussions. That is why I'm not hiding. I have all the evidence. All right. Submitted to the
All right. So we look forward to hearing the evidence and moving on from here. Take care. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.